Hi everybody, it's Dana Robinson, and today I am going to be talking to you about Kahoot. It's an awesome website that allows you to kind of turn whatever content and concepts you're covering in class into either discussion questions, opinion surveys, or even kind of like a quiz type game show where your students will compete against each other. It's a lot of fun, it's really engaging, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've opened up a new Google Chrome browser, and now what I'm going to do is type in get Kahoot, that's GETKAHOOT.com, and that will bring you into the sign up site. Okay, so now we are here at the Kahoot page, so we're going to click right here, get my free account. Okay, so you're just going to go through this process, choosing your role. So I'm a teacher. Going to enter my info there. I'll pick a username here. Mr. Robs. Let's do WPS. And then I'm just going to enter my email. Same thing. And then create a password. Alright, I'm going to use my... Okay. So it's creating my account for me right now. And this is really your home page here. So you can go through some info here if you kind of want to learn and kind of be oriented to the site. But I'm going to walk you through the three main tools that you'll be using, or that I use and that I would recommend using. So there's discussion questions, survey questions, and quiz questions. We're going to save the best for last, so we're not going to start right away with quizzes. We are going to start with a discussion question. Okay, so you can either create this way right here, or you can click this new Kahoot activity up here. So let's start with the discussion question. So you can just ask, whatever kind of discussion question you want. So I'm currently studying Africa with my students, so maybe I might say, are you most interested in learning about Africa? Okay. And then here's where you'll actually be editing your discussion question. You can drag an image here if you choose. So here I have a couple of images about Africa. So there we go. You can have a time limit. You can start with as short as 5 seconds, or they can have up to 2 minutes. I usually stick to 30 seconds, although depending on the length of the question, you can make that time period longer. And then you can have a couple different options. So maybe I might say physical features. And so they have the three options. You can add a fourth if you choose to, but I'm going to stick with just those three. And then you'll click Save and Continue. You can fill out some information, add a description. You do have to select your audience. You can choose the difficulty, but let's go with very easy. You have a cover image. Let's use that same question. And then we're done. And so now your students will need to have a cell phone or a netbook or a Chromebook, some type of internet device. You can do bring your own device day if you choose to, in order to be able to access the Kahoot. You'll click play. It's loading. And then it will give the students a join code. Okay, so you can see right here is my game pin. Sorry about that, that music was a little loud. So they'll enter this game pin right here. And I have a phone simulator so you can see what it looks like. So the game pin 598463. Okay. So here's what their phone looks like. You'll enter that game pin right there, 598467, and then enter. Uh-oh. 598463, that's why. All right, 463. And you can have a nickname there, and then they'll join. And it always has the kids double check to make sure their name's on it. So there you can see my name, Dana, appeared right here on the Kahoot. And then you'll click Start now once all the kids are up there. It's going to load the question. What are you most interested in learning about Africa? And then here we have the three options. Now it's color and shape oriented, so they won't see these words. Instead, they'll see the shapes, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So they'll have the triangle, the hexagon, or the oval. So they pick whichever answer they choose. So let's say I'd be interested in human geography. There you go, and confirms that they submitted their answer. Now it'll show the results, so you can see how many kids are interested in learning about a particular subject. Okay, so that's a discussion question. So we're going to end that. Okay. So let's try making a different type of Kahoot. So let's go with a survey. So again, you'll give it a name. Stick with a theme. I'll go with Africa. And then enter in a few questions. Okay, so I've typed my question, what is your favorite African landmark? And put in the different options. So Kilimanjaro, the Sahara, the Great Rift Valley, or the Serengeti. You can add more questions, but just for the sake of time, we're just going to do it with one question, just so you can see how it's done. You click Save and Continue. Again, you'll choose difficulty, a primary audience, whether it's public or private, whatever language you would like. You can add pictures. You would just repeat the process. And then you'll get the Play Now button. You'll launch your Kahoot, and just as previous, you'll be given a code that your students will be able to join. So 49012. Again, they would enter their names. And it'll ask them just to double check that their name is visible here, which it is. And again, it is color and shape based. They will not see this text. They would choose whichever one that they think is the most interesting. So let's say this student likes the Great Rift Valley. Okay, you can see you've gotten your one answer, and it shows you your results there. You can download the results. You can play other Kahoots and replay. It's just a nice way to kind of dipstick with your students. Okay, and the last type of Kahoot I'm going to show you how to make is a quiz. Quizzes, I think, are the most engaging, and you know, personally, I think I utilize them more than discussion and surveys. Just as a nice way to kind of touch base with the students and allow them to kind of have fun with the information, because they will be competing against one another. So we're going to go ahead and click Quiz and start by giving your quiz a name. Okay, so I've named my quiz, and now I'm going to click Go. And now I am going to enter a series of questions. Okay, so I've typed my first question here. So what ocean is east of Africa? If you scroll down, you can see that I have my 4 different options here. Again, you can choose to add images or not. It's up to you. And then you'll want to mark which one is correct, especially for a quiz. Now, this is not an option you've had with surveys and with discussion questions, but with quizzes, you must have correct answers. So the ocean that is east of Africa, that's the Indian Ocean. Okay, now you can either add a question and start all over again, or you can duplicate if you'd like to use a similar question. So let's see what happens when I click Duplicate. Question 2, what ocean is east of Africa? I'm going to change this, and I want to know if my students know the ocean that is west of Africa. And then obviously it's no longer the Indian, it is the Atlantic. I'll add another question. I'm done with ocean questions, so I wouldn't want to duplicate it. So I'll add an additional question. So question 3, and I'll fill in my text. Okay, and here's my question now. So question 3, what continent is north of Africa? Again, I'll mark my correct answer. It's Europe. I'll duplicate it. I'll ask another continental-based question. So for question 4, so let's change that to which continent is south of Africa? So that'll be Antarctica. And then I'll add 5 questions. So question 5, I'll enter my. Okay, so I've entered my question text right here. What region of Africa is mostly covered by desert? And then I've gone ahead and entered in my answers. Again, you're going to want to make sure that you have correct answers. So covered mostly by desert, that's North Africa. You can go ahead and double check and make sure all your answers have been done correctly. You can edit your time. You can choose whether they're a points question or not a points question. As I said, you can go from anywhere from 5 seconds to 2 minutes. It's totally up to you. So I'm just going to double check and make sure all of my questions are good to go. They are. Okay, so I'm going to click Save and Continue. Again, it lets you look at them. You can double check, make sure the time and choices are all the same or where you want them to be. You can edit questions if need be. I'm all set. Save and Continue. And then again, you'll want to do your audience. You can decide different languages, descriptions, and difficulty. You can add tags if you so choose. And again, you can have a cover image. I'll just use that Africa image again that I've already used once. Okay, so my quiz is good to go. So I'll click play now. Now I'm going to be using a couple of different devices just so you can see it in action. I'll only be able to show you this phone simulator here, but I have another phone just so you know. Okay, so you can choose a couple of different options whether you want the questions randomized or not. You'll click launch, the quiz will load, and we'll have that game pin again that I'm going to just quickly enter in on my different devices. Okay, so I've entered my 3 devices. We're good to go. So we got Joe, Bill, and Dana. And we'll click Start Now, just so you can see what their phone would look like. So it says Get Ready. It gives a countdown before the question. And again, it gives you a countdown here. And again, it's color and shape based. So what ocean is east of Africa? So east of Africa, that would be the Atlantic. So the square is the correct answer. Oh, shoot. Wasn't paying attention. All right. So incorrect. So it shows Indian. All 3 of the devices were wrong. No one selected it. And then you'll go to the next question. I'll definitely take my time this time to make sure I know I answer it correctly. Okay, so what ocean is west of Africa? This is the Atlantic. So I'm looking for the hexagon. So hexagon, there we go. And for each correct, you get a certain amount of points. Now my other two devices were incorrect. So it shows them as 2nd and 3rd place respectively. So again, we'll go through this. Yep. Continent north of Africa. So again, I'm looking for that hexagon. It's Europe. Okay. It shows a points tally in between each question, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the game. You can see that Joe won. His total score was 3,475, and then it shows you what questions he got right and wrong. Now, finally, they can provide feedback. And just so you can see, they give it a number of stars, thumbs up, thumbs down, would they recommend it, and then a final reaction. And here you can see overall it was rated 5.0 out of 5, thumbs up, and then they're all happy. You can download the results and view them later, or you can just use them as a quick assessment. I hope you enjoyed learning about Kahoot. It's a lot of fun. You and your students will have a great time. Thanks.